Cam Radio, it's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, the sports book. Lots to talk about. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, Sportsbook or KM Radio, and you can leave us a message if you have any events going on or you want to get involved with the show or with the station, or if you, like I said, advertisement, whatever you got, we got. Whatever you need, we got. Lots to talk about. A lot of great basketball over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of great. I'll tell you one game that stands out in my head because there was a bunch of really good games. Sunday night, Golden State, even though they lost, they gave New York everything they had. New York was down at one point, 15 points, 18 points. And I don't know if New York, I mean, I'm sure the setup was, hey, let's take, because I just so give you a premise of this. Everybody's out. Everybody's out.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Yeah.
And them youngsters came in and they played. They were in it. They were leading.
Yeah, they stepped their game up.
They sure did, because I'm sure New York was thinking, hey man, we're gonna coast into the third, we'll sit everybody in the fourth, and it will be no problem. Couldn't do that. They had to play this game to the very end. But like I said, that was one of many great games over the weekend. We got the brackets out.
Yes.
Starts on the 17th. So ought to be good.
Yeah,
Duke
ought to be good.
Ought to be good. Duke is heavily favored, but keep this in mind about Duke. They are injured. They got their
they got some injuries. Yeah, they got some injuries they got to fight through. So it's going to be a little tougher road for them. The Ohio State TCU game.
Good game.
I think that's going to be a great game to watch. TCU, tenacious defense.
Yes.
And the guys are putting up points. So I feel like that's going to be my sleeper in this tournament. But we'll have to see, because Ohio State is right there at number 8. So they kind of match up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see that.
TCU, if they can make it past Ohio State, and they actually make it to Duke, they could upset Duke. That could be an upset. They definitely have what it takes. There's a bunch of good matchups, and we don't have time to go through them all, but there's a couple good.
Right.
Vanderbilt, McNeese. Don't count McNeese out.
That's going to be a good one as well.
That's good. And Arkansas. How about Arkansas looking hot?
Oh yeah, Arkansas, number 4 in the nation. I got my eye on them too. I think they're going to go far in this tournament as well, because they're playing some excellent basketball over there.
They really are. They really are. And you got to keep your eye on Miami pulling a couple upsets.
Virginia. I mean, this is going to be it's going to be tough to come out of the East. They got some heavy hitters. We got Michigan State, UCLA, number 1 Florida, Clemson, Vanderbilt, North Carolina still, Illinois number 3. You know, it's that's the South, but I'm just saying, like, the tournament right now is going to be great. The matchups they have are excellent. It's exciting for me every year. You know, it's hard for me to follow college basketball, but when it gets close to March Madness, that's when I key in. But it's going to be exciting. It's exciting every year, but it seems like each year it lines up, and it's a great competition out there, and they got some good people that are seated lower, but teams are great.
Keep your eyes on St. John's. That's another one. There's so many. You could go on and on. You could have a 5-hour show and probably
absolutely
not cover. But some of those
the bracket is a show itself. The bracket is a show itself.
Oh yeah, there's no trying to and keep your eyes on the unders. especially earlier rounds. Some really good defensive teams. Definitely, definitely some good. And there's a bunch of great women matchups. Um,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, there's a bunch of good women's bracket. Uh, should be a great tournament, both men and women. I think
Hmm.
that's going to be it's going to be good. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of gambling. I forgot what the number was. Going to be a couple $1 billion. They said that will be gambled uh, on both tournaments put together. So I'm trying to pull this up. Did not do it. Live bracket printable women's comp. Let me see. I was trying to pull up the women's bracket. I'm having a little internet slowage. But yeah, it should be a lot of great gambling. Like I said, there's a couple unders that I like coming up, and I think we're going to be in for great entertainment. And like I said,
Yes.
basketball's only got 4 more weeks left. Baseball starts early this year. It
Hmm.
right before um, starts right before Easter. It's late March, so that ought to be pretty good. We
Yeah.
got
Uh,
hockey's
yeah.
about to go
Speak.
to the playoffs.
Right. Eh,
Lot going on. Um, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot going on, and the NFL people are making moves left and right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Justin Fields to the Chiefs. Uh, we got a few more places. So far, Goddard, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, he stayed put in Philly.
Right,
Jury's still out on AJ Brown. Right now, they're gonna hold on to him. I think they're gonna wait until the second round of free agency. They'll save some money on the cap from him if they do that. But what else do I have? Yes, of course we know that Hendricks went to Baltimore instead of the Max Crosby situation. There's speculation of him not passing the physical, but that hasn't been confirmed. That's just speculation right now. Um, he's with he's still with the Raiders right now, rehabbing, but he has not moved.
I would
And
tell you what's weird about the Justin Fields thing. Not weird, but are they gonna? So I was getting reports that they were gonna try because Mahomes is gonna be out for a while.
yeah,
That's it. So, and I think
hmm
they want him to come back full throttle. They're not going to try to rush the situation. Um,
right. I think their target window is Thanksgiving, but that remains to be seen.
yeah, Thanksgiving, November. So the other thing is I f- I heard that they were looking at Wilson, and I was just like, I don't know. I think he could do more with Justin Fields. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I think the quarterback whisperer could get him in there and
Oh
really
yeah.
work with him.
Hmm.
I think the problem with Wilson is I just think he is what you get what you get. There's no there's not going to be any
Right.
revitalization of his career or I
Hmm.
mean I could be wrong. I just think Andy Reid could get that young kid in there and go, okay,
Yeah,
let's
because
work on this.
right. They could sit and work with him and teach him. He's good on his feet, so they could work up some. They could work some plays in there where he does use his feet to pick up first downs. Although they have an A1 back now that could get them more
Right,
than 2 or 3 yards per carry.
right,
So that's less running. Eliminate the scrabbling from Patrick Mahomes. If he needs
right.
to work around the pocket, that's fine. But it's the scrabbling for first downs and things like that, putting itself in harm's way. And they
And
still
then
need to work on they now they do I still think they need to work on some on their receiving core
right.
because of the Rasheed Rice suspension and you don't know when your other receiver is coming back from injury. So I think that's something that they need to look at.
Well, I think with Kansas City, they're just trying to get somebody to manage the game, get us to where we are not 0-7 or whatever, whatever it is. We could just be maybe
Right.
4-3. Get the general back. He'll
Yeah,
get,
I think
what I mean?
they need a big receiver though, a red
Yeah,
zone threat with to take the load off of Travis Kelsey.
yes, because this is going to be his last year. It's a 1 year,
Hmm.
1 year deal, and then
Yeah.
Kyle Murray went to the Vikings. I mean,
Yes.
I see that. I don't, like I said, I don't think JJ McCarthy's job is in. I don't think it's in
Yeah. It's
jeopardized.
not. It's his to lose. You know.
Yeah, but I don't think Murray is the answer that they're going to go with and say, oh, we're going to go this way. Not unless a lot changes. Um,
Yeah.
not unless there's just this unbelievable reconstruction of his career and him being more
Yeah.
focused and him.
Hmm.
And I don't even want to say taking it more serious. I just say, you know, more involved. I mean, everything
Take
you read.
advantage. Take
Yeah,
advantage of your situation. You know, especially as an African American quarterback. You want to try to be as successful as you can because those opportunities don't come a dime a dozen, and you need to take advantage of it to maximize when you can't play anymore. That you're set. So you do the work
true.
now so that later it'll be easy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like I said, that's going back to the Andy Reid with Justin Fields. I think that's going to be a. I think Justin Fields is going to get another shot after he leaves Kansas City because I think he's a great player. I know he's had some problems, but wasn't in the best situation. But now he's going to be put in a great coaching situation, and I think we're going to see a whole different. I mean, he's coming from the Jets, not a great situation. So
Yeah,
I think he'll probably get a deal after the KC the KC opportunity, and I hope he does well.
yeah.
What about this? What about the Saints? What do they? I haven't. What do they got working?
Well, the Saints have they signed Achan. He says it's pronounced Achan.
Okay,
He said he just accepted, ATN because he was in Florida, and but it's actually pronounced Achan. So they're making some moves. I think DeMarco Davis got traded. I have to check on that. But they're making some great moves. They picked up some guys for that offensive line uh to help shook out, but adding a every down running back would help. Now,
right.
the status of Kamar, I'm not sure about that yet, but I'm gonna keep on it. And once I hear something, then it'll be on. I'll make sure to put it on one of the sports breaks throughout the week.
They got. I think I'm gonna for Kamara. I just think he needs to get 100% healthy. I think that's
Yeah,
one of the biggest things, and I think that will be a huge deal. And get some defensive pieces like we talked about. And establish, like I said, this year they won more games than we thought they would. They
yeah.
looked. I mean, they looked. I mean, they
They
actually
looked
were.
better than I thought they would look.
Yeah, they were gamers. They were in some games. I mean, they actually were in there, scored some points. Because the offense just was so lacking. It was just it was just terrible. I mean, it was like
Yeah, yeah,
one game they might score 30, and the next game it might be six, and you're like, come on, man, there's got to be more consistency than this. Um, but like I said, they have a lot of issues with the salary cap,
hmm,
um, and
yeah.
I think you can't pay everybody, and I think the teams that
No,
we talked about this earlier. I mean, when when we thought we thought he was going to the Ravens, and Vegas had all that opportunity to get all those draft choices, and we both said, like, man, this is their opportunity to rebuild a franchise.
hmm,
Do it smart, because you can actually put together a nice team first, second year guys that you don't necessarily have to pay the big money and get everybody on board like New England always did.
Right.
Getting people to go, okay, I'm buying into this. I want to win a championship. You ain't got to max me out. I'll do it for this or whatever they can work out.
Right. They'll make it team friendly to win.
Yeah, and I think that's something that everybody. But one thing that I'm really frowning on though, Lou, is I'm frowning on. I hope my team never gets in that position paying an old quarterback.
That part.
That
That's
part,
the
you know what I'm
part
saying?
right there.
Because
Paying
man,
a
we had
quarterback that you know is not going to be there no more than a season or two
yeah.
and
I
giving
mean
them a lot
between
of money.
Wilson, Rogers, um, Carr with the Saints, and like I said, we always talk about that. I really thought Carr was
Mhm.
going to do more, and there was flurries of it. There was times when I was like, oh man,
Yeah, there
this
was
man,
flashes.
yeah, there was
Yeah,
like,
there were
man,
flashes, but it was just
but
inconsistent
inconsistent, short lived, and
and injuries,
and injuries. And,
availability.
yep, and just paying these guys all this money. Um, I think Wilson got over. I
Oh,
think Denver.
absolutely.
Holy
Yeah.
cow!
Oh yeah, yeah, he got a good chunk out of them.
Yeah, he did. So and it's like, man, these guys are coming for. There's a reason why they're leaving their team. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
a reason
Yeah.
why they're leaving their team, and they're trading them, and then you want to max them out, and it's like, wow. It's kind of like it's not like, but like this year, I think a lot of pressure is going to be put on Lamar with the Ravens to win.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we paid
Yeah.
you,
Even if it is
new
a first
coach.
year coach, a new coach. So with Baltimore, there may be that loot. They might give them a season. It's like, okay, coach just got here. Everybody's got to learn how he does things. So they may, I'm not sure, but their window, their window is not going to stay open for long. But I feel like they maybe give him a mulligan for this season, being that this is his first stint, you know. But we'll let that play out throughout the season.
Well, I think another thing
Like I
is
said,
is you have to ask yourself how long does Henry have? Been in the league a long time, great
yeah.
back, taken a lot of abuse. I mean, he had 2 good years with them. Year 12. I mean, running backs, it's a lot of abuse. I mean, there's a lot of
Hmm. Yeah.
abuse
A
taken,
lot
and
of
that's
wear and
a
tear.
lot of wear and tear. How long do you have them for? And do we take, when can we take advantage of the situation? So it's going to be interesting. They got rid, you get rid of the coach. It's like, okay, the coach was the problem. And now all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see if, and
Yeah.
I don't, and like I said, I really think with Baltimore, I really think with the Ravens, I think they got away from what they knew, which was defense, and they went more offense. And it was like, man, you were winning. I mean, Joe Cool got you a Super Bowl. He was a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but a good quarterback. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's you guys got 2 Super Bowls with bad to the bone defense, and we saw again this year the bad to the bone defense, which was way too
Right.
much for a very young quarterback. Hats off to New England. They made it to the Super Bowl. Do I expect them to be back? I really don't. Um, we'll let it play out. And it's going back to Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. I mean, I think this year, and it ain't on Joe Burrow. I think it's on them because I mean, if I was Joe Burrow after this season and we have another bad season, he's that quarterback that I would say, okay, I'm going to pay that quarterback. You know what I mean? That's the guy.
Right.
He's not old, been in the league 6 years, not like he's 33 and we're going to pay him $200 million because
Right.
Cincinnati is going to end up wasting him. But like me and you talked about when they went to the Super Bowl, um, I said, oh, he won't. I said every year it will be a regression. Everyone laughed at me. Remember we talked about it, and then it was like every
Yeah, we
year.
did.
Okay, yeah, okay, they made it this far in the playoffs. Oh, they made it first round. Well, they ain't been to the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's like the team, they're not really spending the money to um to go anywhere. Now flipping
Right.
the flip. Go ahead, Lou.
No, I was about to agree with you. They are not using the assets wisely. In other
No,
words, it's like you can't when you're right there on the cusp and you taste a Super Bowl, you don't spare you don't spare change your way back to the Super Bowl. You go out, you
spare
get
change it.
players
I
that'll
like that.
get you over the hump. Right.
That's a good one. Spare change it. That's exactly
Yeah,
no,
they're
but
spare
you're
change in their way. They're trying to spare change their way to the Super Bowl. But no, you got to go out there, you got to spend money and get the players that are worth it that can get you over that hump.
and you just lost one of the best pass rushers in the league to the Ravens. So that goes back to what we're talking about. How serious are you about winning?
Right.
Because
So it's
you're not just about to find another one of him. That's for sure. I mean,
no, you're not going to find that in the draft. No. I mean, you're going to find a good one in the draft, but he's got to develop. He's got to learn how to play in the NFL. You don't have time for that.
I totally agree. I did. So switching over to the NBA, my question
Mhm.
is, why did we get rid of Seattle Supersonics only to put another Seattle Supersonics there? I don't really understand that. I really
I
don't.
don't understand it either. Maybe it was the economy at the time. The city didn't want to didn't want to contribute or people weren't
Could
going to
be.
games. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a numbers thing from the NBA. I'm not quite sure because it was an outstanding franchise. It never should have left to go
No, and
to
I
okay, right.
okay,
OKC should have
yeah,
been its own team from the jump,
yes,
and they could have kept
yeah.
Seattle.
So the OKC thing is really cool because they created another market that wasn't there. But I mean, you could have done an
Hmm.
expansion like you just said. Now Vegas is going to get a team, but something else is, and you don't know this is the back end of business. And look at Chicago; they're moving. Chicago Bears will no longer play in Chicago.
No,
That's a
but
fact. They're
yeah,
moving their
they're going to
stadium.
be moving their stadium to Indiana.
So
So
you ask yourself,
how does that how does that work?
the city said they couldn't. They said they couldn't afford. I don't even know. I looked at the numbers. They were asking for money to build a new stadium. Chicago didn't seem very interested, and I think this went on for a period of time. And I think it just basically it got down to Lou that somebody said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to make it happen." And I think maybe Chicago thought maybe they couldn't. Um, there's one thing about professional sports. If you don't want your team, there is a city somewhere that will take
Yeah,
them in a heartbeat. Even though that city
in a
may not be
heartbeat.
able to afford them,
Right.
they will put the whole city in bankrupt to start that off, and that's a fact.
Because that's tourism and outside revenue.
Yes, yes, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So by doing that, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things, and you just got to
Yeah,
look
it's
at
gonna be
yourself like,
weird, especially with the
yeah,
history and the nostalgia of the Bears, and they're doing all that in Indiana and not in Chicago. Oh man, I could just hear Chicago sports, local sports radio stations now. I know they are going off.
yeah. I mean, it's a bad situation, but it's happened. That's what happened to the Baltimore Colts. That's I mean, you can go on
Hmm.
and on. There's been lots of teams to look at St. Louis. St. Louis, that's where the
Yeah,
Rams
they lost
came
their
from.
team twice. They lost
They
their team
did.
twice
They
to
sure
LA.
they sure did, man. Now that St. Louis. Oh man, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, sure did. They went to
yeah.
they went to
St. Louis
they went to
Cardinals
Arizona,
and the
yeah,
Rams.
and the
And they were the
Rams,
St.
man.
Louis Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Wow.
golly, that's pretty bad. You lose
Yeah.
twice. Yeah, that's and what's crazy is when St. Louis moved, when the St. Louis Rams moved, they were good. They
Yeah.
had just won. They went to
Yeah,
two
the
Super
greatest show on
Bowls.
turf.
One, yeah, they went. Yeah, it was like, oh, you don't want that. I mean, yeah, it was kind of there's too much politics sometimes and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, what I mean, there's just
Hmm.
way too many, and the NFL is its own politicianal party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
yeah, because you're moving money and product, and I mean, everything they do is a huge deal. Like I said, we talked about the game over in Rio de Janeiro and the
Hmm.
thing, and not to get, like I said, we're not even going to touch on it, but the whole thing with the Bad Bunny thing, it was just they're trying to get a bigger market. I mean,
Yes.
that's all they're trying to do. I mean, that's the only reason why we're playing a football game in Rio de Janeiro or why we're playing in
Right.
England, or because they're
Right.
looking at the the TV deal revenue because they may be
Hmm.
it may be maxed out. The numbers game may be maxed out in the America, can you know what I mean? But if we can tackle Mexico or Spain or Rio or just wherever, I mean, you're talking about
Hmm.
billions and billions of more dollars, people advertising on a regular. Like I said, I just think they're pushing like I said, that's why we're seeing so many injuries, the extended season. I mean, you
Yep.
brought all that up, and I think you're 100%
Hmm.
right. I think we just, you got all this travel, time zones, playing football games at 8 o'clock in the morning in
8 o'clock
America,
in
and
the morning. Yeah.
yeah, it's 5 o'clock there, and all that. It takes just a regular person to go across 5 hours. I mean, that's a lot. Your body takes a
Yeah.
while to
To
catch up
fly from
on this.
LA to Florida is something for some people. Just imagine
Yeah,
12, 14 hour flight. It's a 14-hour flight to Frankfurt.
yeah, right.
So,
You got a game
so it's like,
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. I get it, and it's kind of like, oh, that's a really weird. But it's all about revenue. That's all the
yeah,
NFL.
all about
NFL. That's
revenue.
why the streaming.
Expanded the
That's why
sport. Yeah.
we got six different streaming things to watch. On Sunday, you need to have six different streams to be able to watch, from
Yeah. To
YouTube
watch all the
TV
games. Yeah.
to Direct
To
TV to
Prime,
cable
to
to
Direct
local
TV, to
Prime. Yeah,
yeah,
Paramount. Yeah, I
everybody.
mean, you're
Yeah.
like, do I got them all? Do I? Yeah, yeah. I definitely. Yeah. It's becoming. It became its own monster. Hopefully,
Hmm.
they'll. I don't think we need another game. I know they're pushing for another game, but I don't think another game is good. I think it's a little bit too much for the players. But we will see. We will see. All right, guys. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night. Let's go get them on this bracket. I hope you guys win it all. Watch out for some unders. Watch out for some up. Like I said, the first round will be the first round, but it will get pretty. All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night. Tony G, Big Lou, the biggest station in the land, KM Radio, where we go, bam.
Damn.
Cool.
All right.